Great King.
Yeah.
So, who is the famous singer you met in your life?
At growing up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the most important time I had in my life as a young man growing up there is that I have met Mick Jagger and Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones.
How did you meet him?
I was very fortunate to have a job with Judy Simmons. Judy Simmons, her ancestry is from Canada. Her father was a reverend. Her mother was a good friend of my mother. So she married a guy called Mac Simmons. Got married. He brought her back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which they were living in Beckwith. They opened a pizzeria close to the beach.
You like pizza?
Yes, it is a fun food. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. But my favorite really was cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll. Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, that's a nice a nice roll with a nice glass of milk or chocolate milk. Man, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
But to make a nice story here for you, which is so realistic, a part of my life, a part of my legacy as a man, running into Mick Jagger and Keith Richards at the Lux Pizzeria, it was amazing. To tell you the truth, how I meet Mick Jagger, it was amazing. One morning I went to the pizzeria. It was around 11:30, and Judy Simmons was standing at a pole.
Wow.
She would not move from that pole. So she said to me, go and see what those two guys wanted. Went over, they wanted cinnamon roll and iced tea. So what I did, I gave them the iced tea and I asked the chef to actually hot up the cinnamon roll to give to these two men. But I went back and Judy would not move from that pole. She was there.
Oh.
Yes. So she had a smile on my face that is unforgettable. I will never forget that smile. So she looked at me and she said, you know those two men? And I says, no, because I was a young guy. So I went back and I gave them the cinnamon roll. She looked at me again, you know those two men? And I says, no. I walk away from her and I absorb it because I just got a job through my mother. Asked Judy and Judy was kind enough to give me the job and I appreciate it. So I was in my day where I was just cruising around and observing. So Judy was still standing at that pole again. I couldn't believe it and would not move. And I said, Judy, you would not move from that pole. And she said to me, you know those two men? But as a young guy, I got a little irritated with her.
Oh, why?
Because that was the third time she asked me and I didn't know those guys. I didn't know them. But she called me nicely, even though I was irritated by her. And she said to me, you see this one? Mick Jagger.
Oh, no.
And you see the other one? Keith Richards. Well, I went over there with a speed. I thought smoke come off of my shoes because I was so glad. It was the legendary Mick Jagger.
You're lucky, man.
Man, I will never forget it until the day I die.
Did you take pictures?
No.
Why you didn't take pictures?
Man, I wasn't thinking that way. But the best part of my story is yet to come with Mick Jagger. Man, it was amazing, unforgettable. Humble man, Buckton. That man was humble. I have never met a human being in my entire life like Mick Jagger. Amazing. So I was observing, him and Keith Richards, but Keith was very quiet. Had on his dark sunglasses. He must be take his cali harbor, whatever he took. But he won't say what. Mick and I was in conversation, man. What an experience.
But let me tell you,
Yes.
you are not the only one lucky. Mick Jagger is lucky too, because he met the great king.
Well, I'm very grateful to you. Very grateful. But I mean a man of his status. A celebrity like him. An icon like him. A musician like him. That man is great. I will never forget it. My encounter with the legendary Mick Jagger. Never forget it.
Okay, so Mick Jagger, what we know, he's living now in England.
That's right.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's in England.
So what message you sent to him now?
You know,
today.
The message I would like to give the great Mick Jagger, the legendary Mick Jagger, if he is watching me and you too,
Subscribe and comment.
subscribe and comment. And I know for sure a man of his integrity and wisdom, he will recognize me with this story if he sees it.
So he will recognize you?
Yes,
He will
indeed.
remember you?
He will remember me.
Because he has a lot of fans over the world. So he will remember you?
It is an experience he would not forget because he did something that was unbelievable to me. I couldn't forget it. Man, I would love to see him again and remind him of that story. Universe, if you are happy with my story, my true story about Mick Jagger, meeting him, having the encounter with Mick Jagger, please subscribe and comment below.